Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's call. And my name is Natasa Denman, and just fresh off a 4-day convention, I have been a sponsor of and exhibiting, and great to see everyone that is on GoToWebinar as well and as Facebook Live. We have over 70 of you now, literally in the last minute, and I know more will be coming through in the first 5 minutes. So let's make sure the people that are on GoToWebinar, they can hear me and see the PowerPoint presentation. I've had a few hellos come through. Hey, Megan, nice to see you. Yay! Grace says, happy post PSA to you. And I've got strategically placed behind me my big CSP accreditation. Loud and clear from Katrina. Welcome. Andrew, all audio good. James, Anna from Adelaide. Christy, happy to be here. Happy to have you there as well. How's the weather there? I'm in Brisbane, you guys, and it's hot. But the last 4 days we've been stuck in air conditioning, and I only took one long sleeved Lorna Jane top that I basically, it's now in the wash, put it that way. I froze my little butt off. So great to see you. Hey, Tracy, great to see you as well. Ruth is on there. Patricia. Is it hot where you are, guys? Because it's bloody stinking hot here, but I'm actually enjoying working up a bit of a sweat right now because it's hey, Davina, I'm trying to go through all of the bits. Hey, Rithik, some fresh new names I haven't seen before, which is really awesome. Hey, Neil, Christine Stowe, Wollongong in mild weather in Wollongong from Tracy. Christine's in Sydney. You're traveling too. Awesome. Fairly cool in Melbourne. Not missing the cold weather. Hot, hot, hot in Brisbane from Patricia. Hey, I'll be in Brisbane for the next 8 days. I've got so many events. So if any of you guys are in Brisbane, come along and actually meet me. I love to meet people face to face. Awesome. Thank you. Melbourne's cold as well from Julie. Awesome, guys. All right, let's get started. Always hot from Tracy. Great. Oh, must be used to it from Leanne. Hey, Judith. Judith's on the call as well. Fantastic. All right, guys, let's get into it and talk about this cool stuff on how to focus, plan, and execute your 90-day business blueprint to triple your clients. This is moi, just a little bit. I have seen a lot of brand new names. Oh my God, there's like over 80 people now on the call. I have seen a lot of fresh names. As I said, I have got a community of people who keep coming back to my webinars, but I do have to officially introduce myself to those who perhaps are on the call for the very first time. And this is my family, my gorgeous children that I saw on FaceTime just earlier, and my husband. There's Judd, who is 7.5, and Mika, who's about to turn 5, and Zara. She's a slightly older than in this little picture, but she's 16 months old. And I'm soon to be a 7th-time published author. The brand new book is happening and is going to be in our hands in the next 3 weeks. It's called Bums on Seats, How to Promote, Prepare and Profit from Webinars, Seminars and Retreats. And you can see Francesca more in the top left of the screen. And this is where I'm staying at her house, and we're doing an amazing event here in Brisbane on Wednesday to launch off the final pre-launch, if you like, of the book before we get in our hot little hands. My journey started 6 years ago in May, so nearly celebrating 6 years in business, and have gone through an evolution of different niches. As you can see, the books are very different, if you like, from weight loss to ninja couch marketing to authoring Bums on Seats. It's because I have written about the evolution of my journey, and at every level I've reversed engineered my strategies to be able to help others succeed with what has really worked for me. So I share things that I have done myself. I don't share anything that or teach anyone anything that I haven't done. One thing that people always get surprised about, especially old school people, is that I have never in my business done cold calling. I'm petrified of it. I don't do it. And I have still built a 7-figure business now into its 3rd year in terms of those types of results. And we still run it from home. I'm happy to say for the last 3 months, I've had a virtual assistant who has been a God blessing from the Philippines. And she is there to, I guess, clear up the mess that I make. Although I am very fairly organized, she has been helping me. And this is why I have also been able to begin blogging daily, and I'm on this imposed challenge to do it. So it's fantastic to be with you here tonight. Second thing, as you would have seen, I'm just changing the slide for those that are on Facebook Live. I have spent the last 4 days in a most amazing journey becoming a CSP. For those of you that don't know what that means, on Facebook they can see my my certificate behind me. But it's a very rare accreditation, the highest accreditation here in Australia for a recognised speaking professional because you've done a certain amount of hours, income generated through speaking, and that was us in our yay photo at the PSA towards the end of today, and me presented with that particular certificate on Saturday night. I have been blessed to be able to become a sponsor of 3 different groups this year, and this was one of them, and they looked after me amazingly. They are a big, I guess if I can say, another family of mine that I hold dearly to my heart, and I can't wait to do it all over again next year. So, but it was super special. I have shed a few tears, if you like, receiving this, and there was a lot of love in the room. So that is a bit of my story. My primary business is Ultimate 48-Hour Author. 80% of the time, I totally focus on that. I run retreats 4 times a year. We're about to go to our biggest one ever on May 13th, and we have helped over 120 people become first-time published authors. So and my big why is to spread the ripple effect through authoring and help others become successful, gain the opportunities and the publicity that they deserve, back themselves, and help them grow personally, because it's very much about the person they become at the other end of a book, and truly live the life of their dreams, but at the same time be helping thousands of others. So what I do enables me to create those ripples through the business world, and reach out far and wide through my clients. So now, I want to share some statistics with you that I actually got faced with when I was starting out in business. And I actually shared these in my keynote 15-minute presentation at the conference, because I did speak as well. There was a lot of speaking from me on the Saturday. There was 4 lots. And this was something that people really found astounding. And I wanted to share this with you because I actually got, I don't know where it came from, but it came from another source. I must have been subscribed to them. And when I saw these, I actually noted them down because I really, really wanted to remember them and avoid what these stats stood for. So let me show those people on Facebook as well what I'm just about to reveal. And those are, so did you know that less than 1% of speakers, coaches, and trainers ever build a 6-figure business? Now, that is super scary, because we know there is a lot of people who are in these industries, and this is where I came from. So a lot of you guys on the call, I would presume, are in some shape or form either coaches, wannabe speakers, or trainers. If you're not, then just ignore these. They're not relevant to you, but most people who are in my community and follow me are. So this is what I saw. Now, the next one was even scarier. And the next one is that 95% of these people will spend more on their education than they will ever earn from their businesses. Or business, sorry, no, I shouldn't say businesses, that you shouldn't be having more than one. And we'll talk about that later. And 95%, my goodness, and they'll spend more money on their education than they will ever earn. Well, that is super scary. And I know that a lot of people invest in their mentors and education, but where I see a lot of failure occur is in the fact that not enough action gets taken, follow through, and the ability to pick yourself up when things go wrong. And the very last one, which I can totally say it's true because I've come across these individuals times and times again, is that 9 out of 10 will quit within 9 months of starting. Now, so those kind of statistics really, really shocked me, because I was kind of in my first 3 or 4 months of my business, and it was like, oh my goodness, like, how am I going to overcome this? Because that's the majority. and what am I going to do, and what is the problem right here. So coming on the cusp of my 6th year of business, I have figured out that there are 3 major problems that occur. I mean, there's probably more, but these are the 3 key ones which make people want to give up and quit. So what those are, sorry, I'm going to go back to that question, is one is obscurity. So obscurity, no one knows you from a bar of soap. So when you're starting out in a business, you're fresh, brand new, you need to get that brand awareness and people getting to know you, like you, trust you, and that takes a period of time. And if you don't push through those first 9 months or even 12 months, you're unlikely to generate the necessary, if you like, business that you need. And often when people start out, they don't have as much time because maybe they have also a day job that they need to be going to cover their core and transitioning into their business. The second one is positioning. Okay, so positioning is off. Like they go out there and they just say they're very generic. So I know this because I did it in the first 3 or 4 months. I used to go there and go, I'm a life coach. I help people with limiting beliefs, right, and set their goals and achieve their dream life and all that sort of stuff. And what the hell is that? Like, people don't understand what coaching is. People want a solution to a problem, and they want it to be specific, and they want to understand what goal am I going to achieve when I have finished working with you. So once I figured that out, especially with my first niche, she was like, what goal has my client achieved when they finished working with me? Well, the first brand, Ultimate Weight Loss, it was they've lost their lose the last 10 kilos. They've lost their 10 kilos. Nowadays is they've completed writing their book in 48 hours. So that's the second one, the positioning, having that, broader area that you belong in. Let's say if it's coaching, but if we look at it, it was someone put it really nicely over the weekend. I actually was the president of the NSA USA, that's right. And the American president of their association, and she said, well, what's your highway? And then what lane are you going to work in? So the highway is, let's say, the broader term of coaching, but what specific niche and how narrow and deep can you make that? Is it going to be industry specific or a specific problem you'll be solving for them? So that was the second issue that I believe took me a while to. So these are the 3 things that took me the longest. I'm talking just from personal experience and obviously having observed other coaches and trainers, because I tend to work with 50% of my clients will be other industries and 50 will be coaches, because they want to model the journey that I've been on so they have something that we've got in common. Otherwise, the other ones are more service-based businesses, mompreneurs, people like that. And so this was my biggest issue. No network, because I only knew other employees, so I didn't know anyone in the business world. Positioning, I was just a generic life coach with no specific lane that I was operating in. And people need to have pain behind investing money to have a problem solved. And the third thing that you can also see here is ad hoc. I've added in ad hoc. So what does that mean? Well, there's no actual plan, and this is where we're getting to the content of tonight, and we need to build this up properly for you to realize how important it is. And that is, so many people out there in business tend to have the strategy of doing a certain amount of marketing, then getting a few clients, awesome, they're happy, and then things slow down. Some clients finish up, or whatever it is, you finish servicing them, and then they go, oh shit, I need some more clients, I better go do some marketing. But then there's that lull of no sales, and then my husband's just joined. Hey, Stuart. He's on Facebook Live and on webinar. He's over from Melbourne. He's probably put the kids to bed, right? Okay, so yeah, where was I? He distracted me right now. Yes, so I need to do some more marketing, they would say, and so this would go on and on and on, and I see it happen all the time. Someone's going out there doing a lot of networking, then they'll get a a bit of work, and then they stop the marketing. So the ad hoc strategies, there's no plan, there's nothing in place. And I actually didn't realize I was doing this for 2 years. The lucky thing that I always did, and then you guys, those of you that know me, is that I always, as a rule from day one, have networked twice a week. So that kind of a marketing strategy was always kind of like a permanent booking with me and whatever events were happening that week that was occurring. But some other strategies, I totally did not have a proper plan, or if you like, a funnel that I was executing. So the ad hoc mindset of especially business owners early in the business is what really lets them down. And this is why we brought you this webinar, because for the last 4 years, I don't even think about whether a sale is going to come today or tomorrow or next week, because actually there's a whole schedule of things that are happening that there's not going to be a lack of opportunities. There's always opportunities. Some will just skyrocket massively in terms of, wow, we'll pick up lots of business here. Other times it'll be a smaller conversion. But either way, there's so much booked ahead of time that you never have to worry about whether you're going to get clients or sales, because at the end of the day, it is a numbers game, and sometimes you'll go through periods of snowball effects, and other times we will go through a period where there is a bit of a lull, if you like, but not like a lull where you're kind of thinking, that's it, my whole business is imploding and nothing, I'm not going to be able to continue. So let me put it back to you. So let's get some interaction going. I know I've been talking for about 15 minutes, and I like to talk, and I talk very fast. What are some of your challenges? And then I'm going to pose a question at you in a second. But what are some of the challenges that you right now are facing your business? There's no right or wrong answers. Are these challenges, or if you don't have a challenge, or you're too scared to, step up and actually, say that this is what you're having a challenge with, maybe comment. Am I accurate? Do you see that these maybe are your top 3 problems, or have been, or am I talking any sense, basically? And for those of you that are watching on Facebook, I'm just going to show you my little slide that I've got here created. There you go. Obscurity, positioning, having that ad hoc. So those are the 3 problems, I believe. Okay, we've started to go crazy now, so I'm just going to read out some comments. Ruth says time, like a focus, clear strategy, right? So that's all underneath the ad hoc kind of area. Getting paid and getting my course out there to everyone, so that's a challenge from Tracy. Lisa, being too busy, fitting everything in, so time again. Okay, perfect. That's why you guys are on the call. You want to learn how to plan, of course. Jolene, yes, perfect sense, she said. Lead gen and then converting sales that you're making. So we need another webinar for that one, Di. Maybe I can do one for you guys maybe in a month or so around lead gen and conversion. Would that be helpful? Shan says, I agree, and I think positioning maybe position myself in a market that doesn't exist. Okay. Shiny object syndrome. Yes, thank you so much. Where I can't work out what my passion is. Right. And hey, Pauline, nice to see you. She's watching me live on Facebook. I'm just reading the comments down here, guys. That's why I've got over 60 people here on the GoToWebinar. Time, social media from Patricia. If I take time off, there is no income coming in, as it is all ad hoc. Yes, this was a big one for my last 2 years, is taking stopping your business, or like not having the plan in place as to how you're going to survive the December-January period, which can be a very challenging period if you're selling time for money. And this is where we teach how to create those products and programs that are going to have you being paid in retainers that don't stop over December and January. Rithik, I'm not sure if my website application is going to be useful in the market. So how I could validate the app. Okay. Client conversion from Sally. Yep, great. Getting lead gen again. Client conversion and lead gen. Obviously, Stuart, you're listening at the other end. Can you put this down as 2 topics we need to create a webinar around, because that's not this particular webinar. Awesome. Thank you. To get team to work in 90-day plans from Dominic. Great. Dang, Shan. Shan, catch the recording. Different pulls in different directions from Christy. So different pulls in different directions happens when we choose too many different businesses to operate in, and we think we're going to make 5 times the amount of money if we have 5 times the amount of businesses. Yeah, right. It's not going to happen. Please don't do too many businesses. Choose one, get good at it, go deep, and really get to know who that ideal client is. It doesn't work. I did it in year number 1. I think I had 4 or 5 major things happening. 3 businesses, a day job, and obviously my home life. Sam said on Facebook, I want to reach more by selling an online course. It feels like a long process to do this. Thank you, Sam. All right, definitely all 3 from Julie. All right, lots of interaction here. Don't know how to niche myself. Okay, from Davina, can I just give you guys one question to write down? I share this all the time, but a lot of the time people will hear it off me time and time and time again. And you know what happens is they don't actually hear it. So I'm going to say it again. Even if you've heard me say this question before, here's your niching question, especially if you're in a speaking into a coaching industry. This is the question. If you're into something else, I could explore it with you, but maybe here, obviously from experience, this is what how I get my clients to figure out what their niche is. And this is the question: what do other people see in me that they want for themselves? What do other people see in me that they want for themselves is the key question. Because if I had told you and shared my whole story of how it's developed from one niche to the other, you would see that at every stage of the game, I was building products that people said, Nat, how do you do this? Tell me how you do this. Like, you know, they wanted the solution to something. So then I built a program and then sold it and offered it in the marketplace. Just a simple example of that is the Bums on Seats book. People are seeing me doing all these retreats 4 times a year, lots of people, lots of preview events that we run around the country. And they say, how do you run retreats? I want to run retreats. So that's why I wrote Bums on Seats, how to promote, prepare, and profit from webinars, seminars, and retreats. Because people said, well, how do you do that? We want to do that. Tell us, reverse engineer it for us, and let's learn how to do what you've done. So what do other people see in me that they want for themselves? Thank you. All right. Thanks, so well. Awesome. All right, so just checking through. All right, knowledge in direct sales. Yes, Tracy. Reverse engineer how you do that, and then create a program or write a book around it that will launch you even faster and further. Balance between things, quick to execute. All right, we're going to talk about that. And Davina, I've answered that question. Perfect. I cleared out all of the comments. Are you ready? I'm going to pose a question to you right now, and I'm going to kick your butts because this is the key question if you feel stuck right now. Alicia's also, how do I get my tour together, choosing speaking locations? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Alicia. All right, so back to my key question, and this is posed, it's the ultimate coaching question when I started in coaching school, and I have made it relevant to this particular topic, and that is, what are you pretending to not know that if you were to know it will enable you to triple your business easily and effortlessly even more right now? So let me show the Facebook guys as well. Ready? So what are you pretending to not know that if you were to know it will enable you to triple your business easily and effortlessly even more right now? Wow, what a brain fry, right? Okay, so you're welcome, Pauline. All right, let me just get my panel back up. So I'm not going to move off here, off this slide, until some of you come up with some answers, because I have got the answer for you. And I have got here action from James. Very good, James. So something to explain while I'm waiting on some comments from the rest of you. I know you're scrambled right now, and you are meant to be scrambled in your head, because this question has 9, what they call in NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, 9 presuppositions or assumptions that something is correct, so that you are pretending that you do know that you can make the the change, and it can be easy and effortless, all of that sort of stuff. So someone says, can you repeat one more time? What are you pretending to not know that if you were to know it it will enable you to triple your business easily and effortlessly, even more right now. Okay. So I'm going to give you okay, we've got here momentum from Julie, okay, and my mental illness, I need to work on it. Okay, so I know you may feel stumped. Hang on, Sharon says how to market or write content that converts, okay. Trust in myself from Megan, okay, thank you. Your why. All right, Ruth, okay, ready for the answer. And see, this is it. I have shared this question with some of these wonderful people on the call before, and I have told them the answer, but then they forget. And you know why we forget or we don't know the answer, even though we've heard it before? It's because we weren't ready to really hear it. We never hear something before we're ready. I don't know about you, but it took me 18 months to realize after I was working with my first mentor that you have to sell people what they want in order to give them what they need. He kept saying to me, Nat, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Sell them what they want, give them what they need. And I'm like, Pete, what are you talking about? Like, I am doing that. No, you're not. Until one day, 18 months into our mentoring relationship, coaching relationship, I got, oh my God, I get it, right? So it's not just you, it's me, it's everyone else. We don't hear stuff that we want to, that we need to hear, and it just happens when we're ready. I've got launched my webpage with my shop and prices. She's pretending not to know. Okay, awesome. I think I don't know as much as others, Sally. What is holding me back? Okay, pretending and not know does not gel. You either pretend to know or you don't know. This is actually a real kind of mindset twist question. So let me explain it to you guys how it works. Really, really simple. This I started using this. It works with everything. Everything that you're stuck in life, like whether it's your relationship, your health, your business, your whatever, something that you want to achieve and you're really stuck, you just replace that red line that I have triple your business, or it could be write your book, or it could be lose your weight, whatever it was. But it was the funniest thing when I was working with a weight loss client and she was stuck on her journey. This is back in year 2, I would say. And she was stuck in her journey, and I said, all right, let's call her Mary. I hope there's no Marys on the call. And I said, all right, Mary. I said, well, so what are you pretending to not know that if you were to know it would enable you to lose whatever weight it was easily and effortlessly, even more right now? And she said, I don't know, Nat. The first thing that comes up for everyone, including me, is I don't know. I have no idea. It's like I don't even know what you've just asked me. So I said, all right, write this question down and take it away with you. And so she did. She took it away and she rang me literally like 2-3 hours later. And she said, I know what I'm pretending not to know. And I said, tell me, what are you pretending not to know? And she said that I need to eat less and exercise more, right? Now, it is very simple, and it actually is that simple. All right, you guys? So what are you pretending to not know that if you were to know, it will enable you to triple your business easily and effortlessly? That you got to go networking, that you got to study marketing, that you got to hustle, that you got to sell, that you got to be uncomfortable, that you got to put yourself out there, that you have to be on social media. There's many different ways to skin a cat. But if you can name 10 different things that you know you should be doing in your business, but you're not, then what you're doing is you're pretending to not know. Because we all know to achieve a certain goal or a certain outcome in business, we can set the goal and we can work backwards and then work out what the actions are we need to take. And if you don't know what those are, this is why people like us exist. We mentor and coach and train and all that sort of stuff to go, okay, this is what your business is, do and this is what you're going to do. So it's as simple as that. So what we pretend not to know is actually what will fix our problem, which is totally obvious stuff, that you got to market yourself, that you got to sell yourself, that you have to talk to people, that you have to build your network, that you got to build your following, and you got to get up earlier. You maybe have to go to bed a bit later if you haven't got your business off the ground. Okay, Shan says, all right, I get it. I do know marketing. I did an MBA, for goodness sakes. All right, I get it. Laugh out loud. Consistent implementation from Vanessa. Thank you so much. All right, so I hope that some of you had the penny drop right now. And let me know if it did. I'd love to know if it did. If it didn't, you'll probably come on a webinar in 6 to 12 months' time, and we will talk about it again, and I will cha-ching, cha-ching from Megan. Awesome. Excellent. So let's get into some things. So I'm going to give you 3 simple things I do. Now, they're going to be so simple, you kind of go, I came to this webinar to learn all of this, super secret weapon kind of stuff that Nat must be doing to run a 7-figure business. And now she's giving me these 3 strategies. Well, I can tell you these are simple. You don't need a super duper a pretty page, 15, 20 page plan that, say, a bank might expect if you were getting a loan and all that sort of stuff. I've actually never done one of those. But what I have done for the last 4 years, so I didn't do this in my first 2 years, is I have bought one of these calendars. Okay, so I've got 3 things that I do. One of them is this calendar. I actually upgraded to the next size this year because I like it to be nice and big. I do a lot of events. So this is my calendar that I work on around October for the first 6 months of the year. And then now, while I'm here in Brisbane, I'll be working on the following 6 months of the year. You can see that it's not as heavily marked out from about June, after our big month off. It's not as heavy, but while I'm here, I'm going to be working my planner, and then when I go home, I'll fill it all out. You can see how heavily 35 events there, guys, right? So I buy my planner from Officeworks. It's about $30 from the smaller ones, maybe 50 for the bigger one. And I sit down around October and I work out, first of all, when I'm going to take my holiday. So you can see those big lines. They are my time off. So there's about 3.5 months of time off scheduled in the year. This is where I need to stop. I need to slow down. I need to catch my breath, recharge so I can go again. You don't complete 100 events in a year without needing to take some breathers and looking after yourself, which has been a very big goal of mine this year. I'm proud to say that I exercise 4 times a week, and I've been eating super duper, even with all this travel and out of routine stuff. So you buy one of these, and this is the time right now, being April, to plan out those last 6 months of the year. Now, if you haven't got planned out anything, you need to then do all of from now through to the end of the year. You do it once. You will do it more productively if you sit down and do a planning half a day. Maybe it'll take me just a couple of hours to do my next 6 months. My next thing is then, when I've chosen where I'm going to go for my own public events, I will book in my venues. I will then book in my flights. And then I'm going to send my Facebook guy all of those details of what date, what city, which venue, and then they're going to build some pages for me. Because as people want to inquire and say, when are you going to be next in Perth, I can say, hey, Perth is 22nd of September. Here's my link. Here's where I'm going to be. And that books in and fills my rooms well ahead of time. This is great for if you don't do events like I do. It's great to lock in all your networking events. Are you a member of whatever groups you're a member of? And do you go to them regularly? Time to put them in. Time to schedule in a minimum of 2 events that you're going to attend every single week. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Tell me if this is valuable. Some of you, again, I will say it again, you have heard me talk about this planner before, and awesome, love it. Awesome, great. Cool. So I'll keep bringing in some of these things because you know what they say, repetition is the mother of all skill. And I need to repeat. You're welcome, Alicia. Thank you so much, guys. I like feedback, and even constructive one as well sometimes. All right. So, oh God, it's getting really hot in here. Seriously, so hot. But after being cold, it's actually quite nice. All right. So that's my planner. So that's step number 1. Okay. You map it out. First thing you put in is your holidays, like in blue. I do them in blue. Second thing you put in is the school holidays. So I don't know if you can see little red, yellow dots with arrows pointing up. They sort of like squish in, point down and up around the dates that is school holidays. So I can make sure that I'm not sort of doing too many things in there, not just because of my kids, but other people's kids are on holidays. So maybe they won't be able to come to my events. It hasn't really stopped people, but I'm mindful of them, especially around retreats and all that sort of stuff. And the next thing that will go in is when am I going to run? Well, obviously my retreats are my high-end program, but then what are the other events that feed into that naturally? And I'll work on those. The last thing I will put in is my networking events, because obviously my calendar is heavily scheduled with events. If you don't run your own events as yet, then you put a lot of your other events on networking that you do there. Lots of notes being taken by Julie. Awesome. Cool. All right. So strategy number 2. Ready? Simple yet again. All right. Here we go. The ultimate 2016 success planner. Now, many of you, or some of you may not know, is that I designed a planner last year and I launched it and it sold like hotcakes. So please don't ask me for one. There's none left. That's it. I am going to recreate new ones for next year for sure. And we're changing a little bit of them. Not the design, but the printing. I wasn't so happy with the print quality, so I'm just going to do something a bit different that's going to be still feasible, because printing at the levels I was printing, the price per unit was extraordinary. So here we go. So 2016 Success Planner. So in the start of this planner, you still have a view of that calendar that you would have on your walls. Then you can duplicate it across. So if you're out and about and you're getting speaking gigs, so you don't double book yourself. So I created that success planner purely for my own pleasure, but I printed a couple of hundred of them, and you guys snapped it up in a second. So buy an A4 planner. And if you want to see how I do it, then go on my YouTube channel and find the webinar we ran around October. You'll need to go around October. We ran a webinar on how to use this planner, right? So what I said to people, you don't have to buy my planner. You can actually buy any A4 planner and model and put the things in that I have put into this. And I explain everything A to Z. Of course, I don't want to do that right now because I have a whole hour you could watch on that particular webinar, so that you can see exactly what happens inside of it. This is my little companion. This is something that I take and open every single day. This is where I set my 90-day goals. This is where I do my 12-month goals. I set what events I'm going to go to, and I write in all my, if you like, appointments. Now, I'm very old-fashioned, if you like. Even though I love my techie stuff, we're live streaming and doing all that sort of stuff, I love writing things down and ticking them off. I don't use iCal on my phone. I just don't. Other people are so into their online calendars. I've tried. I've gone back and forward. I've done both. And, this has worked for me. It's simple. I still like to be neat. So if anything changes, I'll wipe things out. And you know what? Most importantly, the things that go in there, they don't move, right? What gets scheduled gets done. And this is where I'll set my 3 weekly goals, and I'm going to set my top 6 to-do list for the day. So I will talk about this in that other webinar that I told you about. And so I stick to it, and it's my, if you like, Bible for the sake of the word. I don't know what else to call it, but it's like with me all the time. Whenever someone says, yeah, you should come and speak and help, you know what happens? I open my planner. If someone says, hey, we should have a coffee, I was very grateful to have been invited by Max Walker to have lunch and coffee for us to chat after the PSA convention. Guess what? In the next 2 days, I'll be emailing him, specific dates and times. I pull out my planner the minute an opportunity for a meeting or a catch-up or a coffee, or anyone that's curious about what I do, I open up my planner, we book in the speaking gig, we book the meeting. It's not like, yep, yeah, we should catch up for coffee. Like people say, yeah, we should go and have dinner like friends do it all the time, catch up, and then never happens. That's not how you build a business, and that's also not how you build relationships. If you want to have awesome, wonderful, close social relationships, you should always, if you say, yeah, we're going to catch up. My friend Helen Mitas, who was with me at PSA, she's amazing at this. We sit there at dinner with me, Stuart, John, herself, and I, and we're just about to even to have our first course. She goes, come on, pull out your planner. She goes, let's book our next dinner. We're at dinner. We haven't even finished our dinner. We're booking in the next one. And that's why we always have a regular 3 or 4 monthly catch up. And we even went away on a weekend away, which was amazing. But most people never get to go away on weekends away with their friends because they never plan for it. So similar to this is how you maintain wonderful relationships with your family and friends, but also with how you build and triple your business. Seriously, guys. All right, couple of comments. Love, love, love it. It lives beside my bed and next to me at all times. Love it. Megan's one of the lucky ones that has one of the 200 of these limited stock edition what is it, haute couture, whatever, I don't know, that's probably a fashion word. I use my diary the same way Tracy says and printed off my next 6 months to create my own calendar to plan on. Thank you. Thanks for the kick up the butt. All right, so true. Awesome. Thanks, Christine. All right, strategy number 3 is, hey, know your numbers. I've got these funky little numbers here on my screen. That's on my screen. I don't really like lots of words on PowerPoint anymore. I like to talk because I can feel this stuff. I know this stuff. I live and breathe this stuff, right? So what I know by know your numbers, check your net worth every single day. What's hit the account? What's gone out of the account? Where are you up to week to date, month to date? Do early stages in your business, do your own bookkeeping, get into the habit. On the 3rd of every single month, it says in my planner that I designed, time to do your bookkeeping because the new month has started. Let's reconcile the last month. Let's see what sales you did. Let's see what expenses you paid out. We had our pre-tax planning last week, the day before I flew out to the Gold Coast because I was going to be here for 2 weeks. Hey, I sat down with my accountant and his helper, if you like. I don't know, his apprentice, if I don't know if that's what they call them. But we reviewed, and there's no nasty surprises because the universe will not give you more money if it thinks you're going to get into trouble. Okay, so we're paying 2 years of tax at the moment because of this big growth and stuff. And if I wasn't smart enough to put aside or know what was coming, then I'd be in a very, very, very big trouble. Whatever situation. But every single month, within the first 7 days, I will complete my reconciliations. I will look at my whole profit and loss. I will look at what GST I'm due to pay at every BAS quarter. And I will have my pre-tax planning in April to know what's going to come and how we're going to strategize around that. Because if you can plan before tax time, you can save lots and lots of money doing things the legit way. So that's my 3rd thing to share with you guys. Please do it. Not many people want to look at numbers. They just want to go, it'll go away if I don't, that sort of denial. People are a lot around denial. From day one, I ran manual spreadsheets. My first mentor, Peter, said to me, Nat, just get into the habit. We know no money's hitting the account. Get into the habit into putting at the top expenses, what date, top was income, what date did it come in, how much was it, and then second, a bit further down was the expenses column, and then what got paid out. Like in the first 6 months, guys, there was nothing in the expenses section at the top. There was full stuff in the expenses at the bottom, so no income, expenses, and then I had my balance, income, expenses, and everything was in red. Now, I was doing these manual spreadsheets for a good 2 years. And then I moved on to a proper, accounting software and all that sort of stuff. And now obviously I can see through that. But since day one, I got into the habit, and you don't need anything fancy. It can be just a basic spreadsheet, and that's what I'm talking about. It's so easy. All right, let's go into the tripling your sales in the next 90 days. So what do you do? All right, number 1 is be fully booked, even if it's not with paying clients. I saw a webinar from a guy in my first year of business, and he goes, you need to start operating as if you're fully booked with paying clients. And how do you get into that mindset and that kind of momentum is that you book yourself solid with other meetings, with potential joint venture partnerships, with potential clients. Maybe it's just a networking coffee chat. You've met someone, you've really enjoyed hanging out with them at a networking event. Go and catch up with them. Go and learn about them. It's not about selling to them. It's about, you just don't know what in each conversation you will be unraveled, and what opportunity may open up that someone knows someone that could be potentially a great alliance or a great collaborator with you. So book yourself solid, and as you're going out and executing and meeting and getting good at time management and getting good at you know, uh, uh, getting to places and having conversations, go out and make the effort. Face to face is a lot stronger. You're fast tracking the process tenfold. Okay. And by face to face, this is if you're early in the game, that's going to be the fastest way for you to build your business to a point where then maybe you'll start to catch up with people online, having Skype chats, especially if they're not in your city. So number 2 is network. So go out. These are not brand new things. These are so simple, but people don't do them. They pretend not to know what to do, and that they're necessary for the growth. Francesca here has a famous saying, and this is obviously a famous saying from forever. Your network equals your net worth. It's easy to understand, and it's so obvious when it starts happening, and you kind of go, oh my God, like there's this community around me, and there's these people who will introduce me to this person or that person. Purely being at the convention, I was exposed to so many people and so many opportunities. And and this is where Max said to me, well, I know so many people that want to write books because he's written 14 books. Let's have a chat. Maybe you can help some of them, because I'm not going to mentor them. I don't have the time to mentor them to write books. So being at the right time, right place, and guess what and how that happens? That happens when you go networking. You end up being at the right times and right places. Not all the time, but you know what? When you don't have as much as momentum as you want, then you need to create that momentum yourself. You got to do the groundwork. You got to go and pound the pavement. If I like, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you magic bullet things because that's what we want to buy, but we need to actually get good and obviously go deeper in some of these strategies to know how to do it properly. Thank you for everyone who's joined on Facebook Live as well. There's so many. I've never had this many viewers. Wow, there's like over 35 on there. I think most I've ever had, it's been 20. So that's good. So over 100 of you all up. Okay, so please, now I'm going to ask you, because we're about to have about 13 minutes to go. We still have lots of time, and I'm happy to stick around for an extra 5 or 10 minutes after. If it has to be longer, happy to stay around. But start thinking about some questions. I am going to wrap up content in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Start thinking of some questions, comments you want to make, and typing them up. So when I stop, I actually have some stuff to read through, and I can address it. So I can be respectful also in your time to make sure you're not sticking around any longer than you have to. The last one here I wanted to mention is having 3 potential JV meetings every single week. Okay, so why JV meetings? Because joint ventures are a lot stronger opportunity to triple your business, because generally a joint venture partner has your ideal client, and many of them. So you're not going out there looking for a client after client after client after client. Who is the person that is advising your ideal client? How can you maybe secure an opportunity to have a chat, to have coffee, right? Being at the Professional Speakers Association, they're the guys that have my ideal client, right? They're speakers. They want to write books. I'm there exposed to over 200 people. They're my ideal JV partner. Any other people who coach and mentor others and speak, and they are as well. What's another one that I was going to say? Well, a person like Max, which I've mentioned before, he also has written so many books. People continuously come and look for advice. So who's the ideal person to advise? Who's the person who advises my ideal client? it's him, even though he's not a speaker in any shape or form, but in a different type of influence. So I hope you're getting me what I'm saying here. And joint venture from Bethany says it's JV, sorry, is a joint venture or a strategic alliance. That's someone you can collaborate with that can send business your way because they love what you do, because they know you well, because joint ventures don't occur overnight, right? No person wants to refer to someone that is going to make them look bad, if you like. So people want to they want to look amazing if they refer you to a certain provider or a certain company. So that's where you have to build, and this is not an instant fix, but it's a strategy that you should be executing over a period of time, and have a few meetings before you go, okay, let's do something. It's way too fast suggesting it for the very first time. So nurturing those relationships is key to amazing and strong and long-term strategic partnerships. And the last thing before I get into the questions, and thank you, you have listened and you have put lots of comments and questions here, so we'll go through that too. But a bit of this, you need, you know how they say, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I believe the key ingredient right here is also to make sure that, number one, you're focused. Someone just said that I'm a scatterbrain. How do I pick one thing and stick with it? From Bethany. So think about the thing that you're really great at, that other people love from you, and stick into dissecting that and reverse engineering it so that you can bring forward a great value proposition for those people that are going to go, you know how to do this really well. I want you to show me. So I don't know exactly what your business is, Bethany. You can post it up if you want me to have a look, and I can answer. So focus, massive action, courage. So focus is don't do 5 businesses. If you're doing 3 or more, or even 2 or more. I know sometimes one complements something else, which sometimes might be okay. But again, my 80% focus is on my 48-hour author retreats. The bums on seat stuff belongs in the 20%. I don't do that full time. I spend a few hours every week on it, and the rest of it is just author, and some other bits. My other creative projects, this is part of something that belongs in my 20%, but also adds value to so many of my author clients. So it's kind of in a bit of in both pools. Massive action is, if you think you're taking massive action, just go and check out your Facebook feed. Are people commenting that you are taking massive action? Are they saying, oh my God, I don't know how you do it, you're everywhere, you're doing this, you're doing that? Are people commenting on it? Because if they're not, then that's your sign that you're not taking massive action. Of course, if you don't share as much on social as I do, but I can tell you, in 6 years I have never had those comments stop coming. People meet me face to face and they wonder and they ask me, and even if I wasn't on social media, people say to me on when I go networking and the activities and what they hear from my email marketing and all that sort of stuff. If you don't hear it, you're not taking big enough action. And last of all is, do you have the mind strategies to pick yourself up when you get those knockbacks? Because no one became successful without knockbacks, and usually they had 9 in every 10 occur in the first 2-3 years. If not, they continue to occur. Sometimes there's days that I just feel like everything is completely imploding, that everything is just going backwards, that I can't achieve, that it's just all going to disappear overnight. But, I go, the difference is that I will have a good sleep and get up in the morning and try again and go again. And that's what courage is about. All right, so before I take any comments or questions, I'm going to tell you about our opportunity that we have got set up coming up on the 26th of April or the 14th of June. And that is which hosting 2 once-off hot seat days at our house in Melbourne. right? We are only taking 8 people. As you can see, 4 are already taken. I'm not mucking around, guys. This is not a scarcity exercise. I'm honest, hand on heart. There is only 4 spots in April, and there's 5 spots in June, because it's at our house. People have already paid and booked. They booked at our masterclass. We had a couple of new authors join us that I chose to give them an awesome bonus to come along to this day. Con, who's on the call, is one of them, and Monique. And so what we're doing in these hot seat days is we are sorting out a few things like that are going to be obviously more customized and specific for you. As you can see, there was over 100 people on this call, whether through Facebook, whether through GoToWebinar. So we want to come up with the next 90-day plan of attack that's specific to your niche and to your business, okay? Number 2 is we want to do the top 3 focused actions. So as we said, some of you said we're scattered. We're everywhere. I don't know what to focus on. Well, I'm going to say you do this, this, and this. It may not be the 3 that I suggested earlier, and most of the time it won't be, because they'll be specific to whatever niche and business that you are at. Masterminding with a group. So 8 people get 45 minutes one-on-one in the hot seat, right? When you listen to the other 7, you will learn a stack of other strategies, because the other people get told different stuff, but then you go, oh my God, I can so apply that in my business. That's an awesome idea. That's an interesting model. I could build that as well in my niche. So don't get me wrong, this is not just for a one-on-one. So you do get your personal one-on-one, look at your business, and the other, well, there's going to be 10 of us, me, Stuart, and 8 of you. So 10 of us in the room. 10 heads are a lot stronger than 1 or 2. So masterminding, personal one-on-one, and absolutely catered for you a full day event from 9 to 5, Diamond Creek. Don't tell me how far you are, because I have figured out also another way. I have so far in the last 6 months been successfully live streaming events from my home, and I've had quite a few people on the calls with great quality. And if anything techie doesn't work, we film these events and we upload them, which means no one can say I missed it and it didn't work out and all that sort of stuff. So this is what I have put together for you. So while I'm just going to talk about this, I am going to just post it in the chat box. So these 2 links are now going in the chat box. These 2 links are only valid till midnight tonight, because I'll be going to bed at midnight, and I'll just shut down the links before I go to bed. So there's 2 links coming your way in the chat box. What that means, the first link is to book a spot in the live. So you're not getting 2 days. It's only a choice of 2 dates. One is the 26th of April, one is the 14th of June. It's one or the other, right? And if you want to be in the room live, of course, that's the most powerful. And I know this doesn't work for the interstaters, so you guys actually don't have a choice unless you want to come down, because I have had people come to my house from 5 different states last year for the VIP marketing day. So the live option, we are normally starting at $5.97. Until midnight tonight, you can have $50 off. I can't do any more than that, because that's there's a lot of obviously coordination and planning and logistics around all of this. So you have a PayPal code to register for that option at $5.47, and then a live streamed option at $97. So if you're interstate, this is your opportunity to be the fly on the wall experience for anywhere in Australia and in the world. And if you can't be there live, again, as I said, we will film it, we will upload it, you will get the secret link that we are going to share with you. So live streaming will be normally $127, and tonight for $97 before I go to bed to switch off these 2 links. So that's my 2 wonderful opportunities for you guys. So now I'm going to go back to my questions, and I'm going to go through everything. Let me just see, because I did have something come up on here earlier. Okay, from Christine. How do you manage your schedule and commitments when sleep deprivation hits with kids? Okay, Christine, you know that I have a super supportive husband. I tend not to have a lot of sleep deprivation, because Stuart would take care of the children if that occurs in our family. So I understand not everyone's situation is like this, and I'm so lucky to have him. But we make sure that I'm at optimum, because my schedule and my speaking and my traveling is really heavy. So this is where I that's where my deprivation comes from, is being depleted through doing those activities. And then obviously Stuart gets depleted from the kids sometimes. But it hasn't always been this way, that I haven't been sleep deprived for a long time. But I have in the past have been, because obviously you guys know that I'd breastfed my three babies till day one. Now, in their first year of life, they didn't get looked after, Stuart, because they slept with me and I would just breastfeed them. So how I did it actually is breastfed sleeping pretty much, and just jumping from one side to the other and just attaching the baby and continue to sleep, because with baby 2 and 3, I didn't have the luxury of taking time off. I was just like, breastfeed, go networking, breastfeed, see a client, breastfeed, go speak, right? So that's how I did it. I didn't get that sleep deprived with baby 2 or 3. I just had them next to me, and I looked after them. There was the occasional night when I was sleep deprived. I just went to bed early the following night. Nowadays, I exercise, as I said, regularly. I eat really well, which means my energy levels are through the roof. And as you can see, like, it's really, like, I've been going for 4 days. I have been with people to, from the moment my foot hits the ground in the morning through to 1 a.m. every night for the last 4 nights. So you can say I'm pretty depleted and I'm still full of energy, because I've had good food, healthy food, and I've exercised, and I'm taking my correct supplements, if you like. So I hope that helps, right? All right, so let's go. So I understand if some of you heard the call need to go, please go. Everything that I need to say in terms of content-wise, now I'm just handling questions and comments. Those are the links. The last little slide that I wanted to share with you before we go, it's like, good luck is the result of good planning. That was my awesome final quote of the night. But I'll keep going on some of the comments and questions. Wow, there's lots of stuff happening here, so I'm just going to read through. Okay, Christine says, wow, you're very lucky. Yes, can be exhausting sometimes. Gosh, you're amazing. I plan on getting there. You will get there. You the way you, I guess I'm going to meet you when I come to Canberra, but the way you are and the way you come across, it sounds like that you are doing some hard work, and you are doing the work. That's what it is. All right, when is Bums or Seats available? Bums or Seats is right now on pre-release, guys. Bums or Seats has a fan page and a shop now button where you can pre-purchase the book, because once it's out, it's $10 more, and it'll be the next 3 weeks. It'll be physically in our hands. I can't wait. Okay, great refresh and embedding the important steps to do to grow my business. Kiss, keep it simple, stupid, right? From Grace. Absolutely, Grace. Um, that's good. This sounded so simple. I was disappointed until I sat with it for a few minutes and realized that I haven't been doing anything that I need to do, even though my sales are continuing to drop. Thanks so much for the kick up the butt. It's the accountability I know I need. And that's what we do. We keep you accountable if you become part of our family and come do some of our stuff that we do. Tracy, not sure how to have people pay me for my training program. Just stuck on it. You need to, well, you've got to figure out what are their pain points, Tracy. What solution will your program be giving to them, and what is the pain that they're currently experiencing that they need your program to help it be solved? So you would just need to ask, if they don't have my problem, what will happen? And what will that mean? And what will that mean? And what will that mean? And so sort of chunk and write down, and that will help you come up with the marketing copy around what you should be saying in order to put it out there and then sell it. That was a very short and quick version in terms of helping you come up with that. All right, Bethany, I want to help women to be the best version of themselves. I'm a counselor, but want to do speaking. Well, everything I said, Bethany, is completely relevant to you. Actually, I have helped many counselors, psychologists, people like that. Those type of industries work perfectly with this information that I've been sharing tonight. I love that you added courage. It runs side by side with self-belief. You're right, Sally, absolutely. You become courageous by taking action over fear, and that is why I listed them in that order, James. I listed obviously focus, action, and then courage as number 3. Awesome. Lucy is just saying, yep, you my top 3 things that I'm pretending not to know straight away. I'll build them into my week, then add 3 more. Thanks, Natasha. You're welcome, Lucy. Where is Diamond Creek? It's sort of northeast, Shane, of Melbourne, around Eltham area, if you like. Doncaster's not too far from there, if it sort of gives you a bit of an idea. Tracy, how do you find your tribe? Okay, so you figure out what are they interested in, and and go out and hang out there. And also, you if you put something out there, you will attract certain people, and then ask them more questions about what other things they like to be doing. You're welcome, James. Thank you. This kicks off my first 2 weeks up to reboot my business for success. Excellent. Speak soon, Michelle. Nice to see you on the call. And I got it. Awesome. So much valuable information. Thanks, Vanessa. Wow. I have gone through all the questions. My goodness, guys. Thank you so much. I have had an amazing night. I feel like I'm getting a bit stuffed up here because of all the air conditioning. Now I'm in all this hot. Thanks, Patricia. You're welcome. Thanks for your brain from JC. When starting a JV, should you take a lower cut? No, I don't think so, Con. Not necessarily. It just depends what kind of JV is and what kind of a cut we're talking about. So look, it just depends. I would probably want to ask me this when we catch up in a couple of weeks and explain exactly what you mean, and then we can look at it a little bit better, and I can give you, I guess, a more accurate answer if you like. All right, beautiful people. I am absolutely stuffed. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar. I've done my best to come up with some simple stuff for you to re-encourage you to get you to take some action. Go and have a drink. Christine says, yes, I'm going to raid Francesca's house. I don't even know what she has here. I just got a PayPal notification up on my thingy. So looking forward to helping those of you that have booked. There's been some stuff coming through my screen. I can't wait to see those that are already taking part in the hot seat days, and those that will be on live streaming. And if you have any questions, always get in touch and say hi, and go out there and have massive success. Bye.